What's going on, guys? It has been a while, but I am going to do another portfolio update. The first portfolio update I did was when I hit $50,000. Then I made another at 60, but then I kind of veered away from doing them, mainly because I've been working on a lot of the portfolio trackers that you guys love. But I think it is time to do another portfolio update because today is almost a year, or well, it's about a year since I was laid off of my job before the coronavirus. The market plummeted. We saw a massive decline. Everyone thought, great, this is the next not only recession, but next depression. We don't know what next year is going to look like. And boy, did none of us guess that it was going to skyrocket. Stocks all went to the moon. Absolutely amazing. And I think it's really cool to see exactly where I was a year ago and where I am today with my portfolio. And also, everyone loves seeing what other people make. Now, before we jump onto the computer, guys, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out all of my other videos. Links in the description if you want to check out my Patreon and download all of my awesome portfolio trackers. But let's jump onto the computer and see where my TD Ameritrade account is now. All right, guys, here it is. We are at $84,625 as I'm recording this video. We're at the end of March in 2021. Now you can see right about here is when I bottomed out. This was Friday, April 3rd, 2020. I had a little less than $35,000 in my account. And I thought, with me not having a job anymore and the coronavirus taking over the world, I had no clue where my account was going to be. I was prepared for it to drop down to $20,000 and then just practice some good old dollar cost averaging. But God, was I wrong, and thank God I did not pull out of any of my positions. Instead, every single month I put more money in. I was on unemployment like, half of America, and every single dollar I got from unemployment, I actually put into the market. All of my stimulus money, every last dollar went into the market. And then about August, I think it was the end of August, I actually got another job, and that was able to help supplement my life and help me put even more money into the market. Guys, throughout this entire year, I just knew, you know what? We just need to be nice and slow and just keep on investing no matter what happens. And now I am up between my positions and the money that I put in over 247% from last year. I think that's incredible. I would have never thought I would be where I am right now. But hey, the stock market does some wild stuff, and I was very fortunate for the investment decisions that I made. So if we scroll down, PayPal is my favorite stock and still my number one stock. It was the very first company that I invested in back in 2017, still going strong with it. I think it's worth over, let's see. See, this is why I hate TD's desktop application. Let's go to right here, position cards. I am almost never on the desktop application. I think it is, it's just not good. But you can see here, PayPal makes up 13% of my portfolio. I think the last time I bought PayPal was maybe back in 2018 or 19. I haven't added to the position, but it's been a decent amount, and I've slowly been adding to all of my other positions to kind of catch up. But PayPal has just been dominating, especially adopting a lot of Bitcoin. Now, we're actually going to jump over to my portfolio tracker that I have because I think it's easier. All of the information is here to talk about it. I have made a couple of updates in my portfolio, actually sold a certain stock, and then I got a new stock. And then on top of that, I'm actually starting to invest in some cryptocurrencies now. So make sure to stick around to see my thoughts on all of that. But here are my positions. Let's jump over to the beautiful dashboard. And if you guys notice, the one stock that I dropped was actually Intel. Intel's no longer on the list. And the stock that I picked up was Google. And Google, I probably invested in maybe a month or two ago. I'm already up 16%. I think I bought in, let's see. I bought a whopping 2 shares at $1,738 for my dollar cost average. And now the price is $2,000. So yeah, I'm up 16%. The position's now worth a little over $4,000. Cost me $3,400. So I'm pretty happy with that. You can see my big four are Etsy, PayPal, Shopify, and Square. The only reason why these are so much higher than everything else is because I've slowly been adding to all of the other stocks. I have not been adding Square, Shopify, PayPal, or Etsy. The last time I bought any of them, if we go to my history, let's scroll down. Let's see. I think that was the last time I bought Etsy. And yeah, if you look through this, I've just been adding to all of the other positions that I had. I really haven't been touching the big four, as I call them. And that's because these four companies have benefited a lot from the coronavirus. And I think we're going to see some major pullback from them. And we kind of already are seeing some pullback. So we are in the end of March, maybe April. I'll start buying a couple more of these, practice some dollar cost average. I still have a decent amount sitting in cash. You can actually see right here, $15,000 sitting in cash. So I still have a decent amount to invest in every single month. I'll put in a few more $1,000, no matter what the market is doing, whether it's going up, down, left, right, sideways. I don't care what it's doing. I am putting money into the market. That is better than any kind of financial advice you could get from anyone. Top dog Warren Buffett, he highly recommends dollar cost averaging is the best thing to do. Just always buy, never sell until you're ready for retirement. And if that's more than 10, 20, 30 years away, you're bound to make a lot of money in the stock market. That is all it takes, guys. But let's see, why did I drop Intel? We're going to jump over to TradingView, my favorite charting site. And you could see there were a lot of decreases. So what happened here? What happened here? And what happened here? And why did I decide to sell Intel? Well, this was its chip delay. I believe this was its chip delay. So its chip was delayed, and this is why you saw a massive run up for its competitors, especially AMD. And then this is when Apple decided, you know what? We're going to make our own chips. We don't need Intel anymore. And I thought, that's okay. They still have Microsoft. Microsoft is a massive company. This is then when Microsoft said, you know what? We're also going to drop Intel. So at that point, I knew, all right, you know what? Intel doesn't have much of a future, in my opinion. Sure, the company could continue to go and make a lot of money, but those were the three strikes. Delay in processor, Apple dropped them, Microsoft plans to drop them. The only reason why it's been riding up is because they fired their CEO, which was a great decision on their part. And yes, they did go from $46 up to $62, so good for them. But I think that it's now a little overextended. You'll probably start to see some pullback. And I just think with the semiconductors, there are better options out there. And one of them is NVIDIA, another stock that I have that I absolutely love. It is in a channel right now, but I think it'll pop eventually. But I mean, NVIDIA has just had a crazy run up. The first time I bought, I think, was back down here in 2019. Well, let's see. What's my dollar cost average for it? I know it's higher now because I've slowly been adding to it. My dollar cost average is 423. I have been adding to it a lot. But if we go back to my history, let's scroll to the top. NVIDIA, the first time I bought into it, $157. If only I knew. God, would I have bought more at 157? 157, yeah, it was right around here. So I bought it some point here, and it just had a massive run up throughout 2020. But yeah, so let's jump over to my Robinhood account now, because that I am starting to invest in good old Bitcoin. I have a video, whether I released it or not yet, as I'm recording this. I made a video going over exactly what Bitcoin is. Hopefully you guys can better understand it if you want to jump on the bandwagon. And I use Robinhood to buy it just because it's easy. I mean, I already have a Robinhood account. You could see I do not have a lot of money in Bitcoin right now. I put a couple $100 into Bitcoin, $329 to be exact. And now it's worth $336. And if we go to my account, I also have Ethereum. Again, not a lot, $359. I'm actually at pretty much break even right now with this. I started not even a week ago. I probably bought in somewhere over here, right? And then it dipped and it's like this. My plan, just like investing in stocks, every single month, I'll slowly add to the cryptos. I'm only going to stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and there's a couple of reasons. I think all of the altcoins really don't stand a chance because at the end of the day, I believe that Bitcoin will become the universal currency that we use. It's already worth $1 trillion in its market cap. And I honestly think $56,000 is at a beautiful discount. Sure, Bitcoin could crash and drop down to 20, 30, who knows, maybe even $10,000, but that's great. I'll buy even more. I think Bitcoin has a long future. 20, 30 years from now, easily over $500,000 per coin. I could see that. Again, I could be completely wrong, but hey, no one's sure with investing. No one has all the answers, but I fully believe in Bitcoin. So I'm going to start to add to that. Probably only 1 to 5% of my portfolio for now, and we'll see how it grows. But besides that, we'll jump back over to my dashboard. Let's make this a little bit smaller so you can see it. These are my positions. This is where I currently stand with all of them. Are all of them in the green? Yes, every single position is in the green. We have been having some rough waters with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. We've been seeing a little bit of a downward trend, but guys, you got to remember where we are in the year. We are now in first quarter. First quarter is closing up. We always see a decrease in first quarter. There's this saying called sell in May and go away. That is usually the worst time to invest in the market, or at least that's when we start to see the decline in the market. All companies on average do better during third and fourth quarter. And in January is when we see the beautiful January effect. Not only do we have the Santa rally, but then we have the January effect. And that is usually between October 31st and January, the end of January is when we see an amazing ride up. And then it starts to deflate a little bit. People take their profits. Businesses aren't making as much money. It scares some new investors thinking, oh no, they're not making enough money. Apple just had $100 billion earnings. Now their first quarter isn't going to look as good. Well, of course it's not going to look as good. How are they going to compete with fourth quarter when everyone is buying the newest iPhone for Christmas or the newest laptop? You can't, first quarter can never compete with fourth quarter. It's like comparing apples and oranges. It just doesn't work. So don't be scared about that. But guys, that is my portfolio update. You now know exactly where I am as of today. Nothing has changed since a year ago. I've been investing in, well, I sold Intel and I bought Google, but besides that, nothing has really changed. My strategy stays the same. I am only buying in a small amount of companies, and every single month I'm adding more and more to those companies. I don't care what the market is doing tomorrow, next month, next year, or even 5 years from now. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm talking about 10, 20, 30 years out. And I mean, hey, if I were to rewind a year ago when I started this YouTube channel and say, where would I be with my positions in a year? I honestly would think I'd be less than 35,000, maybe max 40,000. I wouldn't think I'd actually be able to go up 247%. You gotta remember, that's not just the positions, that's also me putting in a lot of money into the market. That is how you grow before you reach that $100,000 mark. It is cold, hard cash. You need to put cash into the market for your first 100,000 before you start seeing any real gains. Once you have 100,000 on average, you can make an additional $10,000 a year just from your stocks appreciating. But before then, this is the quickest way to grow your portfolio, putting money into the market. Guys, again, I hope you like this video. I like to stay completely transparent with my investing because if you're going to come to my YouTube channel, you should at least know how I'm doing. If you guys like this video, smash that like button. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.